Good morning. I have my dog that is sitting next to me that is a guard dog this morning, so hopefully she's going to stay quiet. And welcome in. This is your mindfulness moment, and I am Kate Landreth, and I am the education and learning lead with Family Caregivers of BC. And I'm also a mindfulness and yoga teacher and student. And it is such a pleasure to share these practices with our community. They have personally transformed my life and helped and supported me in times where it is more challenging. So it is something that is near and dear to my heart. So before we start our formal practice, a note to you that are listening in that we have our new podcast episode in season 2 out, and it's called Grief as a Healing Gift. And it's such a really important message from a caregiver. We have Bill Israel, who is our host for this season, who we are so thankful to have his wisdom. And we're going to be releasing also our next episode in a few weeks' time. So you can listen on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and also on our website. So thanks for tuning in. So today, I'm first going to provide just a little bit of context around mindfulness practices and these types of meditation techniques that we've been offering in the last year together in our community. And generally, they fall into 2 categories. So they can either be a calming technique or meditation, or an insight meditation. And most of the time, they kind of go through both of them. We use a bit of both, and we flow back and forth. So the intention of calming meditation is to cultivate more quiet and stillness, a peaceful state of mind, and to improve concentration. And most calming practices get you to focus on a particular object, such as your breath. It could be a mantra, so a sentence or word that might be calming to you, a visualization, so something that you can see in your mind's eye, an object. I sometimes, when I'm teaching with younger youth or students, that I get them to hold a rock or something to have it weighted in their hand, and that can be quite calming. And even physical sensations within your body, so feeling your body in your chair or on your bed or wherever you are seated, or if you're laying down. So getting you to return to that object of focus whenever you get distracted. And just that reminder that for people that are busy, like caregivers, and you're doing a lot, it can be very challenging to sit and be still. And it's challenging for most people. And so often, right when people start mindfulness, even if you regularly practice and sit down, the mind can get distracted very easily, especially right now if you're finding sensations that are more heightened in your body and emotions. It can be quite distracting. So to give you lifelines with mindfulness, we give you something to focus on, or else the mind will wander. That's the job of the mind, to think. So the other bucket or meditation practice that we draw upon is called insight meditation. And these often, we aim to develop qualities of wisdom and compassion and empathy. And they focus on the breath as well, so that object to focus on, but also being aware of and noting all the physical and mental sensations that arise. So often that could be coming into your body, noting your breath, and then you might start to just be aware, like, okay, left foot is frozen or cold sensation, or my heart is feeling heavy or tight. So you're noting the sensations in your body, noting the emotions. And many of these offerings combine both. So we aim to cultivate that calm and peace, and also compassion and empathy for self and for others. So today, we are going to focus a bit more on the calming technique, and we're going to be using our breath as a focal point. And I pulled this quote because I think it is important in terms of remembering why we practice this pause. You know, if you call it mindfulness or a break, whatever it works for you. But it's a quote by Viktor Frankl, and he says, "Between stimulus and response, there is that space. And in that space is our power to choose. And in our response lies our growth and freedom." So oftentimes, as we're practicing mindfulness and we're stepping out of the busy day-to-day race, that we are starting to just notice stimulus, things that get our mind going, our task oriented focus, or ruminating about certain things. And we can have full-blown conversations in our head, and response. So really trying to open that gap between having something that stimulates our mind and body and response. And you can tell when you're stressed that stimulus and response is very, very, very narrow. So we have a very short response time. And with mindfulness, you know, this doesn't happen overnight. This is a practice, and it's not perfect. We're not perfect, and we're not aiming for perfection here, but we're just aiming to notice what might stimulate us and then choosing a response that would work for you. Okay, so please take a comfortable seated shape, or you can lay down, whatever serves you today. If you are seated, which I do recommend, it helps you to stay alert and to stay focused and to stay awake, is to ground both feet on your floor underneath you. Bring your hands to your lap. Close your eyes to remove distractions. And for a moment, just notice the feeling of the chair underneath you and the floor supporting both you and the chair. Sit up tall so that your head and shoulders stack right over your hips. And your hands resting on your lap, they're relaxed with your wrists and your elbows and shoulders. And it might feel nice to do a few circles of the shoulders up, back, and down. And bringing your shoulders forward and down. You might even drop one ear to a shoulder and bring your head back up and over to the other shoulder. And then aiming here for stillness. Please empty your breath out. So take a full exhale. You might even sigh it out your mouth. And then breathe in for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the top for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay empty at the bottom for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then nice slow sip of breath in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the top for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay at the bottom, empty, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathe in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay empty, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then fill up, slow, steady. Pause at the top for 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly empty out. Hold your breath empty at the bottom for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you do a few more cycles. And if you need to shorten that cycle in, it feels too long or too short, you can extend or shorten. But the aim again is to focus on the breath, creating a little bit of space between each inhale and exhale. Notice when you are giving your mind something to do, to pay attention to your breath, that it is still quite normal that your mind might slip off into whatever it's doing, thinking, planning, daydreaming, but to bring it right back. So right back to the count of 4 in, hold and pause for a count of 4, and exhale for the count of 4 out. Stay and pause at the bottom for the count of 4. And then breathe in. You have one more cycle. And to close your breathing practice, you might place a hand or both hands on your chest and heart space. Again, just tapping into your body and breath and noticing what it feels like to be in one place with your mind and your body together, and how often that we can be not in one place. It seems quite simple, that of course I'm here I am, but our minds can be off many times during the matter of this 15-minute meditation, into another place in time. And so the offering here today, in terms of this calming meditation or technique, is to consider when you might find yourself faced with a stimulus or something that might evoke some emotion, and to try to draw out that response. And so maybe a moment of just a few cycles of breath. You can do that box breath where you're holding your breath and counting in for 4, pausing for 4, exhaling for 4, and then pausing at the bottom again for 4. Or it might just be a sigh out, but you're coming back to the body and breath and your mind before maybe making a response. So thank you for joining today. I hope that you find this helpful to set the tone of your day. And I look forward to practicing with you again in the future. Thank you.